You, yes you, I'm talking to you. I understand why you clicked on this video. You're absolutely tired of your S197 Mustang smelling like
Musty asshole.
Am I right? Yeah, these cars, ain't they just fun to deal with? All the water leak issues that happen on these little S197 Mustangs. Hell, I still have one in the truck that I'm still trying to fight right now. At least I got the one out of my floor completely fixed, and now it doesn't smell like ass 24/7. I get into my car and it's not at least killing me in humidity. So, in that regard, in this video, I am going to show you how to completely eradicate these issues on this vehicle. I swear, I look like a teleprompter or a newscaster right now. Yes, today's weather is absolutely, actually pretty good for being that it is Houston, and we've had a lot of clouds going on. But hey, I've done all the work for you. For a while, I was thinking I had an issue where the fender on the driver's side was the issue, where there was very few S197 Mustangs that were affected, where basically the fender, the caulking for the body weld was basically just a shitty job from the factory. And so what was ending up happening was some people were getting water that was actually getting into their floors and screwing up their smart junction boxes, which everybody knows the smart junction box is the first to go when you get a lot of water leaks that happen in these cars. And the body control module being that all the electrical components that basically tie into the vehicle, like your lights, your wipers, your door locks, alarm system, I'd imagine, anything that's electrical, you name it, you will have some weird issues happening to you. With me, I was having issues where my car was going into failsafe, my door locks weren't working, I had the passenger side headlight that was staying on, I had all kinds of funky stuff happening. However, I'm going to let you know right now that you do not have to get a brand new smart junction box, and all you have to do is actually just clean up the corrosion and clean up the connectors. Now, that's not for everybody's case. Some smart junction boxes might be a little too far gone. However, at least with this situation, you can get it fixed. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and show you everything that you need to do to be able to fix and correct this issue, including diagrams, so you are going to be 100% fixed and at least not so much plagued from these issues that are happening inside the actual cab of the vehicle. Today we're going to be using my 2005 Ford Mustang GT 4.6 liter as the example here, since I've completely corrected the issue. Again, guys, aside from the trunk, I do have a water leak in the trunk that I'm still diagnosing, but if you are just at least wanting to get the floor situation fixed and trying to prevent your body control module from getting wet, this right here is going to be the video for you. So that way, at least you don't have the humidity, you don't have the nasty smells going on in your car, and that the carpet stays dry permanently. So what is the number one major reason why you get water in your floor panel here? The number one reason, and there's countless videos on this, is going to probably be the firewall. So what ends up happening is the firewall, you get a bunch of debris and bullshit that gets stuck down up into the gutters in the firewall up here, and then all that dirt and all that debris has nowhere to go. So the water level just keeps rising and rising and rising and not draining properly when you get a nice good rainy day, and all that water starts then dumping into the cabin air filter. So you do have a cabin air filter in the cowl. So if you take that cowl out, you'll see that there's a cabin that sits on the passenger side. So then what ends up happening, again, water starts rising up, starts pouring into the cabin down here, down on the floor, from the actual cabin air filter. It's a weird engineering design. I couldn't tell you why the hell they do this. So what do you got to do? You obviously got to clean out the gutters. So you clean out all the debris, all the crap out of the gutters, number one. Number two, you'll have these little cowl grommets, these little rubber boot grommets. I've already removed mine from my vehicle, but I'm going to show you as the best of my ability where they would be located. Just remove them, completely remove them. You don't even need them. I don't even know why Ford included them. They literally just gimp water from actually exiting the vehicle. So there is literally no reason for you to even have them on the vehicle. So what I would do is completely remove them altogether. Now, the second major contributing factor why you get water into your floor is probably going to be the cowl grommets. That was my issue in particular. It's funny because I had actually replaced the cowl grommets once before, and I must have done a shitty job doing it. And it's why I remained ignorant as to why I was getting water still remaining in my floor, because I didn't think to double check my work in terms of the grommets. I kept consistently getting water dumped into my floor. Anything I did, anything I tried, I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't wrap my head around it. I took it to body shops, and then I realized it's the cowl grommet clips. The same ones that I've already replaced once before are leaking again, and the job that I did was just a really bad job. So these cowl grommet clips, right? And I'm going to show you all this information, of course. Cowl grommet clips themselves, Ford in their infinite wisdom decided to use this weird design where the cowl itself has little pegs that fit inside these clips, and the clips themselves that fit into the firewall actually have a gasket that seats around them. Over time, when the car becomes, hell, even 10 years old, 15, 20, this one's a 20-year-old car, those clips begin, or the grommets begin to fail. And so what ends up happening is that water will get and reach its way behind the clip, down inside of the firewall itself, not the gutters. We ain't talking about the gutters. No, it gets inside the vehicle from the firewall, works its way down, and I'll have a diagram right around here so that way you can actually see and understand how the water will travel its way down. It works its way down, it gets behind inside the firewall, inside the cab of the vehicle, and it works its way both right and left, because what's happening is that water moves and shifts around. You have a hole entry down here in the driver's side, and you have a hole entry down here in the passenger. And it's crazy because that's when I put one and one together. When I was looking at this diagram, you're gonna definitely understand how this water gets in, right? Because that's how I then realized, you know what, I think my work was pretty shoddy. Maybe that's why I keep getting water that keeps dumping into my floor. If you do get water that goes into the floor, not only are you gonna have a disgusting carpet that smells just absolutely rancid in here, but your body control module sits in the floor panel down here. So you have a kick panel down here. Storage is your body control module. And of course, I already went over what the body control module does. And so how do you get these electrical issues that start happening? Well, most people don't know that it sits probably back there, and most people don't probably know that that's getting wet as their carpet's getting wet, because Ford put it in such a really crappy spot where this diagram goes. So like where the water dumps out, it literally dumps out on top of the fucking body control module. And it's funny because Ford knew this was going to be a problem, because if you ever go up in there and look at the body control module, there's actually a little roof that covers the top of it to keep water from actually touching it, but it does absolutely fuck all, and you still can get it screwed up. Your body control module could be salvageable. I see a lot of S197 forum pages and a lot of Facebook pages where they completely replace it. There might be a possibility you can save yourself money like I did. So actually what I had done is I had actually tore apart my body control module, and I had actually cleaned it up myself. It wasn't too far gone. Now, if you have major corrosion where it's just absolutely damaged a lot of the electrical pins, I mean, it's probably not salvageable. However, I caught mine early enough to where I literally just took a brush, a very non-abrasive, like just a plastic brush, and then I took one that's just slightly abrasive, not too harsh, to clean off the connectors. And literally all I did was use the non-abrasive brush, took alcohol, and even used Q-tips, and literally just started putting 91% alcohol all over the circuit board, and literally just started cleaning off all the corrosion off the board. And then with the slightly abrasive brush, I started just scraping away at the connectors. Then I just got some paper towels, blotted it, let it dry. Then I put dielectric grease all over everything on that board. So that way, if it does get somehow wet again, at least the dielectric grease will kind of prevent moisture from attacking the connectors, attacking the board, at least in the most common spots in the connectors. That, not only the body control module though, if you are still having some issues in terms of the corrosion, there is also a plug that sits up in the kick panel next to the body control module that can also get wet. And so if you experience anything, even after you get the body control module replaced or you've cleaned it up, you're still having issues, check that connector as well, because that connector can sometimes get corrosion in it, just like mine did as well. So I had to go up in there and start cleaning it up pretty well too. And then I just shoved a bunch of dielectric grease in there as well to keep it from getting damaged again. And then the third common issue as to why you might get water in your floor is going to be the A-pillar. So the A-pillar is this little black bar that sits above the window right here, and behind it is a gasket, much like the gasket that's used in the front cowl grommets right here. So what ends up happening here is water will then get behind the A-pillar, work its way down. I think the water travels behind this little kick panel down up in here, or this little trim piece, and then it starts getting the rear wet back here. So you might notice that it's more wet in the back than it is in the front, and it's probably because of the A-pillar. So that's kind of a way that you can kind of diagnose where this water leak's probably coming from, just based off of how wet a particular spot is, right? So although If one does get wet in the back, if one floor pan does get wet, it does travel up towards the driver or passenger seat. Something to keep in mind, that if you have a water leak in one particular issue, that water does travel vice versa, front and back. But usually if it's going to be water coming from the front, it's going to be well more saturated in the front than it will be in the rear floor pan back here. At any rate, the A-pillar is going to be another one that you're going to want to take apart by taking out this weather stripping up in here, so you can see my hand, the weather stripping up in here, and then you'll be able to get the screws out of the A-pillar, take it off, replace the gasket on the back of it. Now, what are some things that you can use to be able to make this repair happen? Well, don't do what I did. I decided to spend $100 on Ford original cowl clips when I first did this job, and it didn't even do anything. So the gasket that they give you with the new Ford clips, they're junk. They're really awful. What you're supposed to do is use a heat gun and heat up the grommets really well. Unfortunately, I didn't have a really good heat gun. Actually, I used a hairdryer. So that's probably a lot of my issue. But I'm gonna tell you, you can use something even way better. And you don't have to spend any money. Well, aside from the tape. And it's a little bit cheaper. Don't spend $100. Buy marine grade butyl tape. The super sticky black, like tar-like gummy stuff. Use that, just cut little squares in it, and literally just poke your own holes in it, and just put the cowl clips inside of it, and then just squish it down. That will give you a amazing seal. It will literally fix the job. It is way better than any grommet I will ever use. So don't do as I did. Don't spend $100 on new clips. Just use the original, and all you have to do is just buy butyl tape. I wouldn't advise using it for the A-trims. There's actually another product that you can use, but definitely for the cowl clips up here in the front, it will never happen again. I bet you in 20 years, this butyl tape will still be functioning properly. It is a much better job than the factory. And it only will cost you probably like $20 for 10 feet or something like that. I can't remember. For the A-trims, you can actually go to Home Depot and buy weather stripping. It's by Frost King, I think it's what it's called. You can get like a roll of like 5 feet for $6 or something like that. I'll even have products in the description below too. If I find it, I'm going to try to do my research too, go to Home Depot and find that product. So that way it makes it that much easier for you guys, so you know where to find all these. For the trunk, you also get water leaks in the trunk. I've already mentioned this, so it's not fun. I do currently have one. I think what happens is in the rear quarter panel, you do have a vent back there. All that water likes to come up through that vent and get inside the trunk. It doesn't really cause any issues. Like if you got a subwoofer like I do in the back, it's not going to get wet. It mainly just gets water right there in the pockets of the quarter panels back in the rear. Sometimes the taillights themselves can also get water that leaks inside as well. That could also be something I'm experiencing. But honestly, for me, I just deal with it. It doesn't cause me any issues at all. As long as my floor is staying dry and I don't smell anything back here, I don't care. The felt in the back too won't get wet, so I'm chilling. I really don't care about the rear. I wanted this video to at least be covering the major problems that at least prevents the vehicle from functioning, and that's going to be these ones right here. Anyways guys, I think that's going to do it for this video. I absolutely love these cars, and all I want to do is help you all out in terms of restoring these cars to their former glory and making sure that you don't have any of these issues, because I'm a guy that likes to go super into depth with this stuff, so that way you have a general understanding of why it is you get these issues that happen with these vehicles. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Y'all have a good one. See you in the next video. Peace out.